I was tied up by my wife with black stockings, tightly on a large, soft bed. A cool, silky sensation pulsed through my wrists. I lowered my head to look. My hands were bound firmly by a pair of black stockings. Secured to the headboard, Lisa Yan sat right on the edge of the bed, her fingertip gliding across my cheek. She licked her lips and said to me, "Darling, things weren't like this before we went home." The old me had been a bootlicker for 5 years under contract. Then my wife had a car accident and became a vegetable. I cared for her day and night. Her soul floated in the air, cursing me for putting on an act, until my best friend burst in, exposing every last one of my secrets. She miraculously woke up and turned from a love-struck fool into an obsessed lover. I faked my death and ran for 2 years, until today when I was taking my niece to grab stuffed animals. I turned around and saw her. That night, she tied me to the bed with black stockings. She licked her lips and asked, "Weren't you dead? Or did your buddy watch a 15-second ad to revive you?" The intensive care unit. The beeping sounded like a countdown clock ticking toward death. I looked at Lisa Yan lying on the hospital bed, hooked up to tubes, my face expressionless. She was my wife. In name only. Now, she had become a vegetable. I pinched my fingers to calculate. The 5-year contract had only 3 months left, 90 days. 5 million. Enough for me and my sister to live worry-free for the rest of our lives. Also enough for my niece's education fund. After that, the sky's the limit. I'd be out of this prison sentence. The doctor held the report, with a gravely serious expression, approaching me. "Mr. Chin, Miss Yan's brain is severely damaged. The chance of waking up is extremely low. She advised me to give up the expensive, aggressive treatments. Switch to basic nursing care," which basically meant lying there waiting to die. I calmly looked at her. "Move her to the best VIP single room. Don't worry about the cost." The doctor was stunned, her gaze shifting from sympathy to respect. Maybe she thought this was true love. But she didn't know we were only married by contract. My only job was to keep Lisa Yan safe. As long as she was still breathing faintly, my mission wasn't a failure. And her family wasn't short on money. The high-end hospital room was very quiet, with only the hum of machines. I wrung out a hot towel, starting the repetitive daily routine, wiping her face, then her neck, arms, every inch of skin, movements precise, pressure even not, as if maintaining a priceless porcelain doll, turning her over, patting her back, handling waist, then massaging her stiff muscles. Everything neat and orderly, but utterly devoid of emotion. This was just a job. I told myself. The final step, placing her hand back under the blanket, her fingers still slender as before, just lifeless now. A young nurse came in to change the meds. Seeing my actions, she couldn't help but sigh. "You're so good to your wife. So patient. She's sure to get better." I didn't respond, just nodded lightly, my heart unruffled. Get better? Better she doesn't wake up. Turning back into that arrogant little princess who loved bossing me around would make my days even harder. Staying like this was fine, peaceful for both of us. I looked at her pale face. The mouth that had spewed so many harsh words at me was now silently closed. How rare I even felt that in these 5 years. This was our most peaceful moment together. I knew how I looked right now. In others' eyes, surely deep affection worthy of a movie. A good man, never leaving, devoted to his vegetative wife. Acting. I'd been acting for 5 years. It had become second nature. I just didn't know. This play had an invisible audience, herself. Her soul hovered on the ceiling, arms crossed, coldly watching my performance. Her eyes full of contempt, Stop pretending, Ethan Chin. If not for my dad forcing it, you wouldn't even qualify to touch my toe. The one I love is Nathan Ming, and you're just the criminal who tore us apart. You're nothing but a dog my dad raised. Her soul drifted in mid-air, reminiscing, probably nothing good. Our 5 years of marriage were like a repetitive silent film. I served her devotedly, doing whatever she said. She said east. I didn't dare go west. She complained the soup was salty. I immediately dumped it and cooked again. In the middle of the night, she wanted late-night snacks from the west side of the city. I drove across town to buy them, only for her to glance, frown, say nothing, not even touch it, and toss it straight in the trash. Just because it wasn't bought by Nathan Ming. To me, she was a lofty queen, but in her eyes, I was just a tail-wagging dog begging for money. Everything I did was to flatter her, to please the father who paid me. It was a cheap performance, nauseatingly so. The doctor said to talk more to the patient. Use a familiar voice to stimulate the cortex. That way there might be a chance to wake her. So every day I added another task. Today it's sunny turning cloudy, high of 28 degrees. Good for outdoor activities. But not for you, I guess. Latest news, stocks dropped again. Good thing I didn't buy. The cafeteria downstairs changed the menu today. The braised pork looks pretty good. I sat by the bed, reading snippets from my phone in a flat tone. Content dry as a board meeting. I didn't know Lisa Yan on the ceiling was irritably covering her ethereal ears. Shut up, Ethan Chin. Can you stop that annoying voice already? You think this will move me? It just makes me more nauseous. After reading the news, it was time for the nutrient drip. I tore the packaging, took out the IV line, flushed out the bubbles, skillfully inserted the needle into the bottle and hung it up. Adjusted the flow rate. 60 drops per minute, not one more or less. The whole process smooth as flowing water. Precise like a programmed machine. Task done. I leaned back in the chair, closed my eyes to rest. Her soul floated right in front of me, scrutinizing my calm face, the sneer in her eyes growing deeper. Glance after glance. You must be hoping I never wake up, right? So you can keep taking my dad's money, living in my house, enjoying the high life. You're quite the calculator. The more she thought, the more she believed her judgment. Her hatred for me almost solidified. At the same time, her heart overflowed with longing for her white moonlight Nathan Ming. Nathan, why haven't you visited me yet? Come quick, and take me away. I don't want to see this disgusting man for another second. She awaited her hero to rescue her from the demon that was me. The hospital room door was kicked open. My best buddy Owen Yang rushed in frantically, like a moving flame. A loud bam echoed. 2 bags of dark herbal medicine thudded onto the bedside table, making the water glass tremble. Herbs to boost your blood and energy, brewed just for you. He panted heavily, pointing right at my face and cursing. Damn it, if you don't nourish yourself, you'll fall apart. Look at your face, pale as a ghost. People might think we're both kidney deficient. I didn't even turn my head. After flushing the IV, I turned to check Lisa Yan's vitals carefully, then fixed the slipped corner of her blanket. Movements completely steady, not a trace of extra emotion. Owen's anger flared up. He grabbed my wrist tightly, with terrifying strength. You're still worrying about her? Ethan Chin, are you insane? Haven't you done enough for this ungrateful wolf? Has she ever thanked you once? Lisa Yan on the ceiling crossed her arms, her face full of question marks. What had he done for her anyway? Her ethereal brows furrowed. Wasn't it just slaving away, washing, cooking for her? That was all paid for by her dad. What's there to say? Owen saw I said nothing, grew even more furious. yelling so loud it could blow a fuse. You served her like an ox and horse, handling every little detail, protecting her safety, even understanding her weird moods. What do you get out of it? Getting cursed by her? Or her open contempt? Even her best friend Hannah Moon couldn't stand it. Tried to speak up for you, turned around and got cut off by her. Then what? Hannah Moon got ambushed by that bastard Nathan Ming's people. You forgot? Just because she advised Lisa Yan to be nicer to you. One coward. One blind fool. Why bother with them anymore? Finally, I reacted, shaking off his hand. Don't say more. My voice was soft, but carried an undeniable chill. Talking about this is pointless. It's almost over. Time's running out. Owen was stunned, looking at me like an idiot. What time's running out? You gone stupid? Abused by this woman. Probably lovesick to the point of losing your mind? I smirked. How could that be? Owen was about to say more, but my cold eyes stopped him. Meanwhile, Lisa Yan, hovering in mid-air, felt confused for the first time. Hannah Moon got ambushed by Nathan Ming. She only remembered a big fight with Hannah Moon. After that, Hannah never contacted her again. She thought Hannah was petty, jealous of her and Nathan's relationship. Turns out it was because of her. Lisa Yan's soul began to shatter. Owen's words like a hammer, smashing her solid beliefs to cracks. Could there be things beyond slaving and bootlicking that she didn't know about? Owen looked at my sullen demeanor, probably thinking I'd gone mad. His handsome face flushed red, like a boiled shrimp. Ethan Chin, you've been abused into idiocy? The next second, a sharp rip. He tore my short-sleeved shirt from collar down with one hand, buttons flying everywhere, from chest to arm. 2 long centipede-like scars exposed to the air, one slashed across the chest, just inches from the heart, the other stretched from shoulder to elbow, on skin too pale from blood loss. They looked like vicious cracks that would never heal. Owen pointed at those scars, his eyes bloodshot. See? These aren't birthmarks. Don't you remember sophomore year? He turned to glare at Lisa Yan on the bed, as if wanting her to hear. This noble lady of yours here, in the dead of night, insisted on sneaking out of campus to date her white moonlight. And what happened? Ran into some drunks, got beaten unconscious, almost dragged into the woods. Where was her heroic white moonlight? Owen's voice dripped with scorn and sarcasm. He ran, head down, full speed, leaving her alone. And you idiot! He shoved me toward the bed, pointing at my nose, scolding. You charged in to save her. Under the empty ceiling, I seemed to feel a bone-chilling cold, the room temperature dropping a few degrees. Lisa Yan's soul was utterly shocked. Of course, she remembered that robbery. It was a bold stroke in her love story with Nathan. But in her memory version, the hero who saved her from danger was Nathan. Owen's sarcasm continued. You took 3 knife stabs for her. 3! Almost died in that rundown alley. And then what? All the credits stolen by that cowardly runaway. She woke up, opened her eyes, and saw her unscratched white moonlight. Damn it. If he doesn't get Best Actor of the Year, it's a waste. And you, Ethan Chin, you're a real clown. Even Gotham couldn't find another with such peak clownery. If Batman saw, he'd offer you a cigarette. Say, brother, you've worked hard. Then send you to Arkham to retire. I said nothing, because everything Owen said was true. After that incident, I was hospitalized over a month, barely clinging to life. Back at school, lessons piled up from the gap. Her dad, Uncle Liu, even called specially, asking her to tutor me. What did she say then? He's a grown man, can't study on his own? Not a kid anymore. Nathan got hurt saving me. I have to care for him. No time for others. Oh right, she even went to fuss over her severely injured white moonlight. I remember she was heartbroken, wanting to see Nathan's wound. What did Nathan say? Don't look, Lisa. The wound's scary. I don't want to frighten you. For you, this minor injury is nothing. Thinking back, truly, Oscar-level acting. Not even a band-aid on him. What could scare anyone? His face thicker than a city wall. A massive doubt probably exploded in Lisa Yan's soul, in her pale ethereal state. Her finger unconsciously touched her chest, that longest scar. No sensation, but visibly uneven and bumpy. And more? A week ago? Owen's voice rose another notch, full of frustrated hate. Iron not becoming steel. This idiot had a car accident. Hospital blood bank on red alert. You, like a fool, scurried off to donate your own blood to save her. He pointed at my face angrily. Look at yourself, now. Drew 400cc say. You don't want your life anymore? What's the point of saving this vegetable? She gonna wake up or what? Finally, I frowned. Owen, mind your own business. Yelling like this in a hospital room? I do these things for my own reasons. What reasons? What reasons make you not care about your life? He almost laughed in anger. You're a real joker. A real Bo Yanjiang. A genuine tomcat. You're the special edition Bo Yanjiang. My Yanjiang's already in the wolf's castle, having hot pot, and you're still at the door knitting her a scarf? You move yourself with your own efforts. And then what? In her heart, there's only Shi Yanjiang and her Jerry. Owen's words like a rusty knife, slashing back and forth in my heart. Finally, I couldn't hold back. So what can I do? My voice was soft, but carried a cold weariness. The thing I regret most now is not admitting those 3 stabs were mine. How could I admit it then? Hospitalized over a month, only back at school. Her damn white moonlight had already donned the hero halo, played out the full script in front of her, with her obsession level back then. If I jumped out with the truth, guess if she'd believe? I mocked myself. She'd just see me as despicable and shameless, jealous of her hero, even trying to steal life-saving credit. Then my days by her side. Would be worse than hell. Not to mention me. Even her dad explaining personally. She brushed it off like wind, insisting her dad made it up to Paris. She wouldn't even believe her own father. So what am I? A hired hand. My words ended. The air in the room seemed to freeze. Lisa Yan on the ceiling. Her soul not just broken, but completely shattered. Donating blood? He gave blood for me? No wonder his face is ghostly pale. Turns out he almost died days ago. She suddenly remembered her dad mentioning. Her blood type is rare Rh-negative, also called panda blood. Dad even said, Ethan Chin has the exact same blood type as you. That's one reason I chose him. What did she reply then? Dad, don't you find that gross? Just hiring a bodyguard. But matching blood types, what do you see him as? A mobile blood station? Thinking back, she was the disgusting one. She never cared about anything about me. Countless memory fragments she ignored. Now like the sharpest glass shards, piercing every inch of her soul. I always prepared warm meals for her. Because her stomach was weak, she complained it was greasy. Dumped it all. I always left a dim yellow lamp in the living room whenever she came home late, because she feared the dark. She scolded me for fussing, wasting electricity. During her red light time, I quietly prepared brown sugar water and heating pads. Because she always paled in pain. She said it smelled like Chinese medicine. Too stinky. Dumped it down the drain. These details she once sneered at, just smirking in disdain, now weighed like 1,000 pounds, suffocating her. She began to examine herself. Her coldness, Harshness, indifference toward him. Was it really justified? She treated him like a tool bought with money. Call and he comes, wave and he goes. But if this tool always used his life to protect her, wasn't she blindly extreme, taking the glory that was his, personally, crowning another? Was she not guilty? Owen stormed out, the huge noise making the world fall silent. In the room, only the steady machine beeps remain. Lisa Yan's soul curled up in midair, like a child abandoned by the world, crying soundlessly. For the first time, feeling heart-wrenching pain because of me. Behind this pain, a massive hook she dared not touch. How much did she owe me exactly? Who truly loved her? Owen left, slamming the door with a thunderous bang. The world sank into stillness. Only the monotonous machines. Expressionless, I bent down, picked up those 2 dark herbal bags. A strong medicinal scent. A bit pungent. Owen was always like that. A firecracker exploding at a spark. But what he said wasn't wrong. I really was a clown. But clowns have to eat too. I neatly placed the bags on the bedside table. Later brew a bowl to try. Can't collapse in these last 3 months. I approached the bed, looked at Lisa Yan, lying motionless. Her face seemed smaller than before, pale as paper. I took her arm, started the joint exercises. Wrist, elbow, shoulder, movements gentle and standard. I muttered to myself, as if to her, or to myself. The doctor said to do this. It can reduce muscle atrophy. If you wake up, recovery will be faster. I sneered inwardly. Better not wake up. I don't want to see that face, full of contempt and disgust. I don't want to hear you say, Ethan Chin, you're so gross. Just stay like this. Good for both of us. I gently squeezed her slender fingers, moving each one. On the ceiling, Lisa Yan's soul hovered right above me. She looked at my pallid face, the deep dark circles under my eyes, my slightly weak movements from losing too much blood. For the first time, she looked at me so seriously. Not the superior scrutiny as before, nor cold indifference, but heartache, remorse, complex emotions beyond words. She remembered the dim yellow lamp always in the living room, and a figure dozing on the sofa. She saw the needle marks crisscrossing my handbag, traces from blood draws. Recalling the 400cc Owen mentioned, her blood type, panda blood, whole bank on red alert. Yet I wordlessly rolled up my sleeve. Her soul trembled, extending an ethereal hand. She wanted to touch my face, soothe the fatigue between my brows. Her fingertip lightly on my cheek, but passed through without resistance. No warmth, no feeling, nothing, as if she never existed. Yet, I suddenly felt my forehead cool, as if something icy brushed my face. Instinctively, I touched my forehead, feeling an unnamed pressure, like eyes staring at me, with a strange cold breeze suddenly across my forehead, very light, very cool, like a cold feather, gently sweeping. My movement froze, subconsciously touching my forehead. Nothing there. Was it the AC vent blowing on me? I looked up at the ceiling. The vent was in the far corner, windows tightly closed. I frowned. What's going on? I muttered, cooling down. No, this feels weird. I touched my forehead again. The cold breeze had vanished. A wild thought flashed. Could it be something unclean? Some ghost girl set her sights on me? I smirked at the idea, then quipped into the air. Sis, your taste isn't great. Why pick me? For my looks. Or my title as the 24 filial husband, specializing in vegetative wife care. I'll tell you, I'm dirt poor. Burning paper money, only the 1 cent kind. If you want a long-term meal ticket, please Exit left to the next room. That old guy's loaded. After saying it, I found it ridiculous. Probably just tired lately, hallucinating. I shook my head, wanting to shake off this silly interlude. But the stared-at feeling seemed stronger, even carrying an unspoken sorrow. I couldn't see, in a place I couldn't, mid-air above. A crystal tear rolling from the void, falling to the floor, soundless, traceless. She looked at me with eyes I'd never seen before, wanting to say something, but I couldn't hear, nor see. Just as the room felt a bit eerie, the door banged, bam, pushed hard from outside. Lisa Yan's best friend, Lana Yue, rushed in like a whirlwind. She was like a guided missile, heading straight to Lisa Yan's bedside. "Lisa, my poor, unlucky Lisa, how did this happen to you?" Wailing cries, as if ready to follow her right then. "Why so unlucky? If you leave me, what'll I do?" Over-the-top acting, so ridiculous. Even the dogs downstairs might howl along. I stood aside, coldly watching her perform, sarcasm nearly spilling from my eyes. Acting major, all right. Solid basics. I grabbed a new towel, continued wiping Lisa Yan's fingers, ignoring the grand play before me. Lana Yu wailed a while, probably seeing her sole audience, me, unimpressed. Her cries faded. She sniffled, turned back, looking at me with red eyes, pitiful like pear blossoms in rain. Then her tone shifted abruptly, with a superior command. "Ethan Chin, you must take good care of Lisa. She's all bark no bite by nature. Usually a bit cold to you, but deep down, she has you in her heart." I almost burst out laughing. Has me? My spa is probably top of her blacklist. I slowly set the towel down, a half smile on my lips, looking at her like casual chat. "Don't you wish she'd just die already?" Lana Yue's sad face froze, like a cheap plaster mask. "If she's dead, no one to compete for your guy. You and your dream man can be together openly, right? Right?" Her face turned deathly pale, eyes panicked like a stepped-on tail. "You! What nonsense are you spouting?" Her voice suddenly shrill, trembling with fear. "Lisa and I are the closest. We're best sisters. I don't have any boyfriend." She spoke more chaotically, eyes darting, not daring to meet mine. In that moment, her reaction was the clearest answer. The room air grew colder. Lana Yue's face alternated green and white, awkward enough to dig the floor with her toes. Just then, the door opened again. The white moonlight she longed for, Nathan Ming arrived. Still that slick bearded look, in a tailored suit, hair combed without a strand out of place. Seeing him, I tossed the towel straight into the basin, water splashing everywhere. The main characters here, my tone's sarcasm. Even I found it grating. Lisa's true love is back, so let him care for her. This third wheel can scram now? Nathan frowned, not even glancing at me, went straight to Lana Yue's side. He spoke matter-of-factly, as if stating a fact. "She's your wife. Of course you care for her. What's it to me?" Finally, he glanced at Lisa Yan on the bed, eyes hiding no disgust. "You want me to empty her bedpan? Dream on. What right does she have?" The air hit freezing, a bone-chilling cold, seeping from the bones. I even felt the ghost girl I imagined on the ceiling probably wanted to kill now. I thought, inwardly, if Lisa Yan's soul was really here, she'd be nailed in place by those words. The man she loved wholeheartedly for years, after she became a vegetable, found even an extra glance dirty. Nathan seemed to think his words weren't ruthless enough. Impatiently scanning Lisa Yan, looking at the expensive watch she'd gifted on his wrist, if not for junior high, when I sweet-talked this lovesick fool into signing an inheritance agreement, saying if she dies she'd leave me a big sum. You think I'd come to this cursed place? Boom! I felt the room air explode, a strange wind brushing my ear, making my neck hairs stand. She went mad. I couldn't see, but I sensed a surge of extreme rage and despair, rushing wildly at Nathan. I even saw Nathan's face as if pierced by something, making him shudder involuntarily. Right now, Lisa Yan used her ethereal fingers, clawing repeatedly at the face she once loved deeply. Scum bastard! I am not lovesick. Liar! Tricking me all these years. I'm not dead yet. I'll wake up and show you. You don't even want to pretend anymore. I couldn't hear the ghost girl's silent screams, but eagerly awaited Nathan torn apart. Lisa Yan's soul vented madly. The man she loved for over a decade, turns out only loved her money. Found even acting a waste of time. Nathan completely ignored my sarcasm, casually grabbed Lana Yue's hand beside him, his thumb smugly stroking her hand back, starting to brag. The gesture, like showing off a cheap, new trophy. Nothing like our Yui here. His proud tone made me sick. So understanding and thoughtful, not only gives me money to spend, but quickly offered herself too. Lana Yue shyly leaned into him, her body boneless. The two treated me like air, and the one on the bed not even alive. Nathan's eyes, like viewing trash, swept over Lisa Yan on the bed. You think I really loved her? That clingy, lovesick weirdo. As a kid, a few sweet words, and she was obsessed, lost to the world. Grown up, still pretending pure jade girl with me. Barely let me touch her hand. Fucking disgusting! That invisible wind blew, making my neck hairs stand. I bet the AC wasn't on that high. Lisa Yan's soul was roaring. Lana Yue giggled, her voice shrill and piercing. Exactly. Nathan, right? She used a veteran tone to share her proud theory. Not like Lisa, 1 day to hold hands, 2 days to kiss, 3 days to bed. That's the speed a normal woman should have. I wanted to puke hearing it. At that pace, rockets would call them ancestors. These two treated shamelessness as personality. I thought inwardly, Lisa Yan must have a shattered heart now. As a vegetable, if not angry enough to wait, then angry enough to ascend. Betrayed by her most loved and best friend. Nailed together on the pillar of shame. If she could hear right now, what a joke of the century. Her soul looked at the shameless, adulterous pair before her, then at me standing silent, watching herself. One body full of tubes, lying like a corpse. One expressionless, standing straight like a guard. In this moment she should see who's true, who's fake, who's a demon in disguise, and who's the silent guardian angel. I said nothing, just quietly observed them. Turns out my clown act got to watch this duo's comedy too. Truly eye-opening. Seeing no reaction from me, the two seemed to find solo act boring. Nathan turned his gaze to me, his face full of cheap superiority. You're such a bootlicker. He looked at me with contempt. Licked for 5 years. Got anything yet? Has she ever given you half a glance? I didn't reply, just stared silently at him. Sometimes, silence is the hardest slap, but he seemed to take my silence as default weakness. Grinning smugger. Like a sly fox who stole a chicken. He even volunteered a bombshell, lowering his voice. You know? That knife-blocking incident back then. I just bullshitted it was me. And she believed it hook, line, and sinker. He leaned close, voice low, tone reeking of boast, and loved me even more. Tell me, isn't she a certified love brain idiot? Around me, a wind seemed to sweep through. Windows clearly shut tight, yet my hair lifted slightly. My family comes from martial arts lineage. Not superstitious, but always respectful of spirits. Looks like this ghost sis has heavy resentment. Inwardly, I applauded Nathan. True self-destruct truck. My sixth sense told me, maybe Lisa Yan could hear the outside. After all, modern medicine confirms, vegetatives can hear the world. You not afraid to die, or think after death someone burns you a 3-story villa. I thought, best if you piss Lisa Yan off to death. Piss her to wake up would be better. Right now I guessed. The one on the bed wasn't shattered, but numb, hateful, the kind wanting to mince his flesh. Lana Yue besides saw and quickly chimed in, starting to point at Lisa Yan on the bed. Look at her now like a hag. She smacked her lips twice, eyes full of venom. So skinny and sallow, like a fresh corpse. Ugly as hell. She deliberately puffed her not-so-full chest. Not like me, nourished by my Nathan till smooth and glowing, face, rosy, and radiant. My eyelid twitched. Nourished? Sis, your word choice is unique. You two in a plant gardener relationship. She seemed to think it wasn't enough. If not for her squatting the pit without leaving, if this mobile ATM hadn't paid up yet, I'd be openly with my Ming already. She dumped all blame on the unresponsive one on the bed. It's all her fault. I felt that wind turn into a tornado, wildly swirling the room. Hallucination. Definitely hallucination. Lisa Yan's soul screamed hoarsely, but in reality, no one heard. You adulterous bastards won't die well, even as a ghost. I won't spare you. I heard nothing, just felt the room unbearable to stay in. Too stuffy. Stay longer. I'd puke to death from these weirdos. Even if much they said was true, it was truly gross. I glanced at this adulterous pair, then at Lisa Yan lying still on the bed. Nathan probably took my silence as provocation. Finally lost patience. His superiority-laden face turned to me, revealing the visit's ultimate purpose. Hey, bootlicker, stop acting. Don't let this love-brain idiot waste medical resources. Saying that, he pointed at the clear oxygen mask on Lisa Yan's face. That was her sole life insurance now. Nathan used a tone like discussing nice way, cold and matter-of-fact. Pull her breathing tube. Let her go peacefully. You two get the money sooner. Lana Yue's eyes lit up instantly. Like two bulbs powered on, she eagerly urged. Yeah. Quick, pull it. A half-dead vegetable. A waste. Living on just wastes money. Lisa Yan's soul never expected. The one she loved for years. The one she funded for years. Wanted to kill her personally. I even less expected. The depths of these two scumbags ran deeper than the Mariana Trench. Nathan Ming saw me frozen, a flicker of impatience crossing his face. He actually stepped forward himself, reaching out to yank Lisa Yan's breathing tube for real. You useless bootlicker. Still playing the hero, saving the beauty. If you won't do it, let me. The moment his hand was about to touch the tube, I moved. I'd trained in martial arts for over 20 years. Not to practice Tai Chi in the park. Uncle Liu, I could even call him Dad, hired me to protect Lisa Yan. Even if she was down to her last breath. A sharp crack rang out. I clamped down hard on Nathan Ming's outstretched wrist, twisting it back. The force was so fierce even I felt it was brutal. Nathan Ming let out a blood-curdling scream like a pig being slaughtered, his whole face contorting instantly, cold sweat pouring like rain. I gave him no chance to react. Launching a lethal kick, I put my full strength into it, hitting him square in the stomach. He flew like a torn sack, crashing into the chairs behind him, collapsing in a pathetic heap on the floor, while kicking him away. My other hand flashed to the red emergency button by the bed, calling for help. The piercing alarm blared through the entire floor. Footsteps thundered down the hallway. Nurses and the security guard stationed at the nurses' station rushed in first. Mr. Chin, what's going? The room turned into utter chaos. Lana Yu wailed and rushed toward Nathan Ming on the floor. In the midst of the pandemonium, I calmly pulled out my phone. No rush at all. Like ordering fast food. I dialed 3 digits. The call connected. I stared straight at them, reciting the facts in a flat, emotionless tone. Hello, is this 113? People's Hospital No. 1, VIP Room 28. Someone's plotting murder. Intentional disturbance. Security and police arrived fast. The whole floor buzzed with activity because of my move. Nathan Ming was still writhing on the ground, mouth non-stop cursing that I was abusing power. Lana Yue clung to him, sobbing pitifully, accusing me of being violent. I leaned against the wall, coldly, watching the final performance of these two clowns. The police, seasoned as they were, reviewed the surveillance footage, then each grabbed one, hoisting them up like chickens. I took out my phone, called Lisa, Yan's father. Uncle Liu, don't worry. I know my mission. I'll protect Lisa well. Nothing major. Those 2 flies you've been worried about for so long. I've already called the police to handle them. This time, we might finally get rid of them for good. Lisa probably won't put up much resistance either. On the other end, a relieved sigh. Getting rid of them this time is perfect. If Lisa wakes up now, no one left to drive her crazy and blame her old man. Call ended. The world finally quieted down. 5 days later, everything wrapped up neatly. Uncle Liu arrived, weary and travel-worn, looking a decade older. Bloodshot eyes webbed like spider silk. He told me he'd pulled strings. Nathan Ming and Lana Yue's charges had been upgraded. Attempted murder, disturbing public order, added up. At least 5 or 6 years behind bars. He patted my shoulder, a hint of comfort on his face. It's settled now. Once Lisa wakes, no one will bother you two anymore. You can slowly build your relationship. Lisa Yan's soul beside him nodded frantically, pleading, yes. Darling, please stay with me from now on. I know I was wrong. It was just my brain short-circuiting before. Too bad I heard nothing. I looked at him and shook my head calmly. Uncle Liu, the contract has only 3 months left. Even if she wakes up, we won't be together. Hearing this, Lisa Yan, ignoring her body and soul, tried to hug me, wanting to hold my hand and pout, but her hand passed right through me. Lisa Yan's soul cried out, "Husband, don't. I haven't made it up to you yet. How can you just slip away and abandon me? I really know I was wrong. You want money? I can give you so much money. Tell Dad to give you tons and tons. Just stay by my side. That's all." He was stunned. 5 years together, and no feelings at all. I gave a bitter smile, lips curling slightly, but the smile never reached my eyes. Not at all, just like she never had me in her heart. And in my heart, there was only the mission. The words barely out. The familiar cold breeze swept into the room again. Lisa Yan's soul flew over, circling in front of me. I do have you. I really have you in my heart. I just couldn't tell before. Now I understand. Please believe me. I seemed to feel something cool brush across my cheek. I thought I heard a broken whisper. You really never loved me. I don't believe it. I don't believe you did all this just for money. Lisa Yan's soul exclaimed beside me. Uncle Liu let out a long, heavy sigh, as if all his strength was drained instantly. He's right. It's all my fault. I spoiled her too much. Spoiled her into a fool. He looked at his daughter on the bed, eyes full of complexity. Back when she was in college, I was afraid she'd be tricked by someone like Nathan Ming for love and money. So I sought you out, asked you to protect her on campus. Your family has a martial arts tradition. Your father was a hero who sacrificed for justice. Your character made me very reassured. So later, I forced the marriage arrangement for you two. He paused, his voice carrying a touch of guilt, but still, to be fair, ropes always break at the thinnest point. Misfortune always finds the most wretched. Your father was so skilled in martial arts, he shouldn't have gone like that, leaving you two siblings adrift with no one to rely on. I looked up at the ceiling, eyes distant. It's fine if my sister and I suffer a bit, but my mother didn't deserve that. My father became the anti-drug hero he always dreamed of, useful but useless. Because that heroic title killed my mother, but his lifelong dream of being a hero was finally fulfilled. In that moment, the air in the room seemed to freeze solid. That cold breeze suddenly turned into sharp icicles, as if wanting to freeze my soul too. The invisible Lisa Yan had heard everything. So our marriage wasn't because you clung desperately, but a chess move her father made to protect her. So you, the useless bootlicker husband, she'd looked down on all this time, carried the pain of a broken home. Father a hero against drugs, killed by smugglers, mother brutally avenged. Yet she once pointed at your nose and cursed, said you were jealous of Nathan Ming, trying to steal the life-saving credit, called you despicable and shameless. Now, thinking back, who was truly the most despicable and shameless? The fortress in her heart had completely collapsed. Uncle Liu's gaze settled on my pale face. He wanted to say something, but it turned into a long, drawn-out sigh. Ethan Chin, this old man has wronged you. His voice was somber, as if crushed under a 1,000-pound rock. Back then, choosing you wasn't just for your martial skills, clean background, reliable character. There was one more reason. I looked at him, saying nothing. What other reason could there be? Simply because my life was cheap and conveniently exploitable. In his cloudy eyes, a hard-to-speak guilt finally showed. Because your blood type matches Lisa's exactly. That rare arch-negative type, commonly called panda blood. My eyelids didn't even twitch. I knew that long ago. Otherwise he wouldn't have asked about my blood type so meticulously back then. Uncle Liu seemed to finally shed his last burden, his voice hoarse. I was too selfish, afraid of what might happen to her. So I used you as a living blood supply station. The familiar cold breeze swept in again, this time without anger, only stillness. Like a frozen lake in deep winter, not even a whisper of wind. Uncle Liu rubbed his hands awkwardly, like a child who did wrong. I know this is very despicable to you, but for wealthy people like us, this is perfectly normal. I almost laughed out loud. Yes, perfectly normal. The rich have human lives. Ours are just spares. Finally I spoke, voice flat as discussing the weather. Taking money for work is only natural. Uncle Liu, you've paid me. As long as drawing blood doesn't kill me on the spot. Draw as much as you want. I'm fine. Those were my true words. After all, this life of mine isn't worth much anymore. This battered body can trade for my sister's health, trade for my niece's carefree childhood. More than worth it. My calm seemed to pain him more than any furious accusation. The guilt on Uncle Liu's face deepened. Seeing you endure so much hardship and humiliation these years, and still face her coldness. This old man can't bear it. He pulled a bank card from his pocket and pressed it into my hand. Take this money, don't refuse. Go home, find something to do. Rest up, your body needs nourishing now. I bowed my head to look at the card. Money is good. I need it, so I'll take it. Thank you, Uncle Liu. Lisa Yan's soul panicked, standing aside, trying to interrupt our talk, wanting me not to take the money. Lisa Yan's soul cried, "Don't. If you take Dad's money, you can't leave, can't go home." Lisa Yan's soul finally understood. Her father found her not just a husband, but a bodyguard, and a sacrificial warrior from ancient times. Not only to protect her completely, but, when necessary, he had to trade this life for hers. The one she saw as a bootlicker was this exchange item. From the start, her most expensive talisman. The debt she owed him was already impossible to repay. After Uncle Liu left, I toyed with the thin bank card, feeling like I held a red-hot iron. Before I could pocket it, the hospital door was pushed open again. I thought it was a nurse, so I didn't even look up. "Ethan Chin." A girl's voice choked with sobs. I raised my eyes. It was Hannah Moon, another close friend of Lisa Yan's, the only one who'd ever advised her to treat me better. She wasn't loud, like Lana Yue, just stood there looking at me, her eyes rimming red instantly. That look wasn't sympathy, but heartache, the kind of heartache. Seeing a cherished thing shattered, my heart skipped. Please no. The dog blood drama these days was already overload. "Come with me." She strode right up to me, voice full of resolve. "Stop guarding that white-eyed wolf anymore." I wearily shook my head, voice a little hoarse. "It's not time yet. My contract still has 3 months. Once paid, I finish the job properly." Hannah Moon panicked, grabbing my hand, her palm hot, gripping tight, like clinging to the last straw. "When will it be time then? She doesn't love you at all. But I love a devoted man like you." Her words came like machine gun fire. "She's a vegetable now. Why won't you let go?" I looked at her, calmly replying, "Actually, you're wrong. I'm not some devoted romantic at all. All that devoted, deep affection act. It had reasons." "I don't care." She stubbornly cut me off. "I only believe in the version of you in my heart. At least right now." The next second, I felt the temperature around me plummet. Hannah Moon didn't notice. She tiptoed, suddenly leaning in, a soft, warm sensation covering my lips, carrying an overbearing possession I couldn't refuse. I froze. Mind blank. Had I stumbled into a den of lunatics? One after another. Why is no one normal? A wild, cold gust exploded by my ear, making my neck hairs stand. Though unseen, right now, Lisa Yan's soul had turned into a vengeful ghost, using her ethereal hands, madly trying to tear us apart, wanting to separate us, but utterly useless. Her hands passed straight through both our bodies easily. Furious to the extreme, she screamed, "Fake best friend! What the hell are you doing? How dare you do that to my husband?" I didn't hear those growls, so I decisively pushed Hannah Moon away. Not too hard, but extremely firm. Pushed back a step. She wasn't angry. Her face showed a bizarre excitement. She glanced at Lisa Yan lying motionless, then at me, saying something that shattered my worldview, yet full of provocative undertones. "Ethan Chin." She licked her lips, eyes blazing. "Even though this is a hospital, there are beds for family here. How about we do something dramatic in front of Lisa? Who knows? It might shock her awake. This kind of love murder plot. If she doesn't love him, let me love him. If she doesn't need him, I'll take him. Even force it." I completely froze, doubting my ears. What the hell? Using this to wake a vegetable? Sis, have you read too many steamy novels and watched too much over-the-top drama? I pushed Hannah Moon away hard. Attitude utterly decisive. "Get out now." She was stunned, face full of shock and hurt. "Ethan Chin," I said, "get out." My voice had zero warmth left. Hannah Moon's face went pale. The light in her eyes snuffed out instantly, replaced by even fiercer interest in me. She licked her lips, said nothing more, turned and left the room. The world finally quieted. I wearily leaned against the wall, feeling the dog blood twists these days, outnumbered my entire 5 years before. Looking at Lisa Yan still motionless on the bed, a wicked thought suddenly arose. Things had gone this mad. Might as well add more fuel for the blaze. I walked to the bed, once again touching her cold thigh, starting the joint massage. My movements remained proper, but my words were vicious. I leaned close to her ear, voice low, like a demon's whisper. "Keeping yourself pure for your white moonlight. Won't let me touch but still get mad." Her body showed no reaction, only the heart monitor beeping steadily. I sneered, adding a bit more pressure. "You think I enjoy serving you? If not for your dad paying big, who'd bother touching a cold, rigid stone like you?" 5 years of warming, still not a bit warm. The room air seemed to drop a few degrees. I bent down, lips almost touching her earlobe, using the most venomous tone of my life, dropping the ultimate provocation. "If you're really that capable, wake up and slap me right now. Otherwise, I'll really go with that woman earlier. She's way more enthusiastic than you, and way more understanding." The words barely out, I felt a wild cold gust explode by my ear. In the void I couldn't see, Lisa Yan's soul had completely detonated. Extreme fury, mixed with a possessive desire soaked into her bones, drove her insane. "How dare you? In this lifetime you can only belong to me." She screamed with all her might and lunged at me, wanting to slap me, wanting to tear me apart. Those ethereal hands passed through me without resistance, but accidentally slammed hard onto her own body, lying on the hospital bed. In that instant of contact, white light flashed, the drifting soul, like sucked by a massive whirlpool, pulled forcefully back into the body. Beep, beep, beep. The monitor blared urgent warnings. Vitals spiking wildly. I jolted up, staring at the bed. Lisa Yan.E. Her fingers, always still at her sides, actually twitched slightly. I thought, inwardly, "Oh no, she's really waking up. Damn it. Am I going back to those humiliating days?" This sudden turn left my mind blank for a moment. A second later, snapping out of it, I pressed the emergency call. "Doctor, doctor." The entire VIP floor instantly turned chaotic because of me. Doctors and nurses rushed in. After frantic checks, everyone looked at me like a god. The attending doctor pushed up his glasses, voice full of disbelief. "It's a medical miracle, Mr. Chin. Miss Yan's brainwaves are extremely active. This is a sign she's about to wake." I immediately notified Uncle Liu. He rushed over, so emotional, he nearly knelt before me, gripping my hand non-stop. "Thanks, Ethan Chin. This kindness is beyond words. I beg you to stay another 2 months. Until Lisa fully recovers, I'll pay you extra. Huge sum." Looking at his gray hair, I finally nodded. 2 months for absolute freedom the rest of my life. Good deal. But I soon realized I'd agreed too soon. After waking, Lisa Yan completely changed. The first look when she woke and saw me, no disgust or coldness, but a burning gaze I'd never seen, like wanting to melt me completely. Those eyes overflowed with love and mad possessiveness. I brought her food. She refused to eat. "Husband, feed me." She blinked, voice soft and sweet, pouting like a spoiled child. I stiffened, remembering the doctor's advice to go along with the patient a bit. I reluctantly spooned porridge to her mouth. She took a bite but didn't swallow, then suddenly leaned up, hugged my face, and fed the porridge from her mouth to mine. My whole body turned to stone. She licked her lips, smiling like a cat that stole fish. Fair exchange makes it satisfying. I snapped awake and pushed her away hard, face darkening, her eyes instantly reddened, big tears pouring down. Like a puppy abandoned by the world. Husband, I know I was wrong. She clung to my shirt, crying until she could barely breathe. Don't be cold to me anymore. I'm so scared. From now on, whatever you say, I'll do it, okay? You can treat me however you want. My heart tangled like yarn. At night, she insisted on holding my hand to sleep. Then, she even patted her narrow hospital bed, beckoning. Come sleep with me. I can't sleep without you beside me. I pointed to the fold-out bed nearby. I'll sleep here. I just lay down. She threw off the blanket, climbed straight down, and without a word, climbed onto my small bed, pressing her whole body on me. Her soft, warm body clung tightly. I could clearly feel every rise and fall of her chest. I completely froze. What are you doing? She nestled into my arms, finding a comfortable spot. Voice smug. You won't lie beside me, so I'll lie on you. Let's see how you sleep now. I felt I was no longer bodyguard or nanny, but prey targeted by a mad beauty, ready to be devoured anytime. Ethan Chin, Lisa Yan, pressed against my chest, fingertip lightly stroking my face. You really never liked me. Not even a little? Her voice was soft, but like a hammer straight to my heart. To end this madness quickly, I had to cut off all her illusions. No, I stared at the ceiling, voice cold and emotionless. Never. Everything I did was for money, to fulfill the contract with your father. Her whole body stiffened. The next second, she violently ripped my shirt open. Rip! Buttons flew from chest to arms. Those ferocious scars, exposed naked under the light. Tears poured from her instantly, like a broken string of pearls. She reached a trembling hand, gently caressing the scar closest to my heart. Her cold fingertips gliding over the bumpy skin, making me shudder involuntarily. You're lying, she suddenly shouted at me, voice shrill and pained. Not liking me but taking knives for me? Not liking me but giving blood for me? Not liking me but caring for me day and night for years. Protecting me, enduring all my flaws. She lunged into my arms like crazy, arms squeezing tight, making me ache. You're lying! Her cries carried wild affirmation and obsession. You love me. The one you love most is me. I know everything you did was for me. Ethan Chin, I love you. I love you most. Facing such direct, blazing confession, for the first time I felt flustered. The mask and endurance of 5 years, torn to shreds in this moment. I forced out, I really did it just for money. Someone like me doesn't deserve you. I don't care. She suddenly lifted her head, eyes bloodshot blazing with sick fire. You don't love me, right? Then I'll force you to love me. She gripped my face, kissing fiercely. It wasn't a kiss anymore, but biting and tearing. Her tongue domineeringly pried open, my teeth, carrying possessive madness, impossible to refuse. Frantically, conquering, I was kissed, until I nearly suffocated, mind completely blank. This woman was truly insane. Lisa Yan's condition grew worse by the day. She ordered security to bring the wedding dress and dowry she'd prepared long ago. Right in this narrow hospital room. Ethan Chin, let's remarry once more. She sat on the hospital bed in a pure white wedding gown, smile satisfied and stubborn. This time, I'm willingly marrying you. Looking at the crisp black tuxedo before me, my scalp went numb. It's not up to you to refuse, She snapped her fingers. 2 guards over 6 feet tall, built like bears, immediately flanked behind me. I was forced to change into the tuxedo. Under absolute force. I was made to hold an absurd wedding right in the hospital room. No guests, no officiant, only her blind, mad love, and 2 expressionless guards. Husband, you can kiss the bride now. She closed her eyes, lifting her face. I stood motionless. She waited a few seconds, then suddenly opened her eyes, directly grabbed my face, forcing kiss after kiss. Her tongue carried a mad taste of blood, stirring wildly. I felt like I was about to be swallowed whole. On discharge day, I thought I was finally free. I quickly packed her things, turned to leave. Where are you going? Her voice came from behind, cold as ice. I didn't turn back. Contract's over. I have to go. The next second, those 2 guards appeared in front of me again, towering like mountains. They grabbed me from both sides, lifted me, tossed me straight into the passenger seat. Click. Doors locked. A sturdy rope bound my hands tightly in front of my chest. I was completely meat on the chopping block. Lisa Yan got into the driver's seat, glancing at me through the rearview mirror. She gave me a yandere smile, sweet yet utterly twisted. Husband, let's go home. The car slowly started. Lisa Yan drove, while launching a relentless brainwashing. Don't even think of escaping. We're officially married. For the rest of your life, you're mine alone. And don't dream of going to that bitch, Hannah Moon. She's not worthy to touch even 1 strand of your hair. My heart jumped to my throat, not from her words, but from her obviously novice driving skills. The car swerved erratically, nearly scraping other cars several times. Stop driving, I shouted in fear. You just recovered. Reflexes are slow. Let security drive. I'm terrified of dying. It's fine, husband. My technique. Before she finished, boom, a huge crash. The car lost control, slamming into a big tree by the roadside. In the instant of impact, almost instinctively, I used my bound body to shield her desperately. I used my back, bracing to take the full impact from the steering wheel and dashboard. Her head slammed hard into my chest. Intense pain shot from my back. I gritted my teeth in agony. Worse, I smelled strong gasoline, and her foot was still jammed on the gas, engine roaring wildly. Take your foot off the gas. I screamed with all my strength. You want us both dead here. But she seemed to have passed out, slumped motionless on me. Rear window shattered, shards embedding in my back. What fate! Mission almost done. Yet, more injuries. The security car behind finally caught up. A group frantically pried open the door, checking Lisa Yan's condition in a panic. I took advantage of the chaos, mustered all strength to break the rope and roll out. Ignoring the bone-deep pain in my back, I immediately called Uncle Liu. As soon as connected, I nearly sobbed. Your precious daughter has gone mad. I want a divorce. Right now, Uncle Liu. This time I saved her life again. We're even. You must help me. I proposed the only plan. To completely escape this crazy woman. Fake death. Announce I died in the accident. Cremate and scatter ashes at sea. Give me money to disappear completely. The other end. Silent for a long while. Finally a tired sigh. All right. Little Chin, I owe you. 2 years later, with the compensation from Uncle Liu, I opened a few small shops. Became a relaxed boss. My sister's illness long stabilized. Now she helps manage the books. My little niece Hannah now in elementary school. Cute and smart. Just a bit too clingy. On weekends I took her to the supermarket. Passing the claw machine she refused to move. Burned through a dozen coins. Couldn't even touch a bear's fur. She stomped in frustration. She hugged my leg, pouting. Uncle Chin, grab one for me, please. If I call you Dad, will you grab it? Dad, grab one for your daughter. I tapped her head. Don't call randomly. Messing up the family roles. Saying that, I inserted 3 coins. Quick as lightning, grabbed the biggest bear right out. I proudly handed it to her. Turned around. My smile froze. Not far away, a familiar figure staring at me. Those eyes cold as if wanting to devour me alive. It was Lisa Yan. My heart skipped for a second, immediately grabbed my niece and ran for my life without looking back. That night, to celebrate this quarter's record profit, I invited my buddy Owen Yang for a foot massage. Owen enjoying the service, giving thumbs up. Little Chin, you're still the best. I thought that woman ate you, turned you into a bootlicker. Who knew you quietly got rich this fast? True blood brother, making money, and not forgetting to pull your buddy along. From now on, whoever you say to beat, I'll beat. We were chatting animatedly just out the door, when several black luxury cars blocked the way. Doors opened. A figure in full black stepped down. From windbreaker to short boots, she wore black stockings, long legs under a short skirt, wide enough to dazzle in the night. Lisa Yan, her eyes hot and cold, sick and mad-y, stepping toward me. Ah, Chin. Long time no see. I was pinned by 5 guards, bodies and heights completely overpowering me. When I woke again, I found myself on a large soft bed. A cool, silky sensation at my wrists. I looked down, my hands bound tightly by a pair of black stockings, to the headboard. Lisa Yan, sitting beside the bed, fingertip lightly brushing my cheek. She licked her lips. Weren't you dead? She leaned down, sneering by my ear. What is this? Did your teammate watch a 15-second AD to revive you? My throat dry. Calm down a bit. Calm. Her laugh grew madder. I've searched for you 2 years. Missed you to insanity. How can you tell me to calm? She told me. For 2 years, her only joy was sending that adulterous pair, Nathan Ming and Lana Yu, into a mental hospital, coming up with new tortures every day. Then, she suddenly changed tone. Eyes instantly dangerous. You've been living well these 2 years, huh? Wife and kid, warm and cozy. Your old little daughter even learned to call you Dad. I was scared out of my wits, hurriedly explaining. That's my niece, my sister's daughter. She drew out a long ah, as if understanding. So it's a niece? Made me think, you secretly had a kid with someone behind my back. Misunderstanding cleared. I just breathed relief when she suddenly leaned down, ripping my shirt open, her fingertips pressing the 3 fading scars on my chest, hot breath against my ear. 3 big scars. To repay the debt, first I have to give you 3 kids. 3 stabs for 3 lives. Palace scars. We start tonight. I panicked and begged. Wait, I'm not mentally ready. Let me eat some kidneys to nourish first. She smiled, pressing her whole body on me, whispering 3 words in my ear. I can't wait anymore.